But what was it like then doing a video shoot and then doing all the promotional stuff? Because being an artist in a studio is one thing, but now you have to go promote yourself. What was it like for you? I mean, you're doing it now, but back in those early days, what was it like for you?
For me, it was tough. It was tough because quite naturally, I'm an introvert, you know. So, and I'm a quiet guy. I'm that guy when you walk in the room, Donell's over there in the corner chilling. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'd rather be in the studio. So it was tough for me in the beginning. But I had to open up. You know, it took me quite some time to get to that point. But in the beginning, man, I was real sheltered. And it was tough because I wasn't used to being around a lot of people. You know, most of the people I'm around, I know them. I know their mannerisms. I know how they behave. So, I mean, for me to be in a crowded room, I kind of got some anxiety about that, you know. So, but I love the opportunity, man. My first video, we had to shoot that In the Hood video like twice. You know, the first video, you know, it was my first video. I didn't have it wasn't no facial expressions, wasn't no, you know, it was just, damn, man, we need more out of him. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we ended up shooting that video twice, man. I think T-Boz directed the second video.
Wow.
The one with the girls with the baseball bat and all that. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened with the video situation. But you know, again, I was an introvert. You know, I was one of those people that was kind of scared to jump out. Now, if I'm drinking, that's a different story. Yeah, now, I'm the most outgoing person there, but I had to have alcohol to do it. You know, so yeah.
You know, somebody did ask about where you go when you're writing songs, but then there's a point that I knew that you had to take a time off to meditate. Well, you know, what was the reasoning behind that, and where exactly did you get to go?
I was, man, about maybe 13 years ago, man, I was having a tough time. You know, I was drinking a lot, smoking a lot of marijuana, having a lot of negative thoughts. I was just going through a lot of things mentally that I couldn't explain. You know, it just had me down. And the only thing I could do was self-medicate at that particular time. So I had went on Twitter and I had asked somebody, man, like, what could I do? Like, and the first thing that came was, you should try to meditate. Now, I had never tried it or never did it before. So I went in and researched a little bit and tried to find out what it was about. And I did it one day. And the day that I did it, I had the most excruciating headache ever in my life. It was like my body was fighting me. My body and my mind didn't want to sit there in silence. It just wanted to keep, you know, doing its thing, you know, because that's what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
So I started meditating, man. I kept at it. And eventually, man, you know what? I just started to realize, like, wow, I'm in control. You know, I mean, these are just ideas. These are just suggestions. I don't have to grab every one of them. Yeah. I could just, you know, I could pick and choose which ones I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Then the thought came, cigarettes. Cigarettes started legal. I'm like, that's just a thought. It's just a thought that pops in my mind. And when it pops in, I just got to say no to it. So once I started to realize that, I started applying it to everything. You know what I'm saying? I started applying it and making sure that, look, I'm the master. This is the slave. If whatever idea you come up with, it's up to me to either do it or not to do it. But many people, what they do is they don't even understand the difference between, they just go right into it. They go right into whatever the mind does, they go right into it.
Yeah.
You know, without thinking about it. To me, that's a slave, you know?
Yeah.
You have to become the master of your house. So what I did was, the better and better I became at meditating, another friend of mine called me and said, you know, you should go to Peru.
Peru.
They have this thing down there called ayahuasca. You should go try it. So I said, you know what? Boom, I'm gonna try it. The very next day, she told me. I went and I booked me a flight. Everything just lined up. It was like I was supposed to go. It's meant for me to go. So I went there, man. I stayed in the jungle for 2 weeks.
Is it like a hotel or something? Is it like a camp?
No, it was like it was a retreat. You know, it was probably, they had maybe 15 people. Okay. Were there, and we all stayed in different places. You know, so I was back in the back a little bit more, back in the jungle part, and we all came to meet up late at night, to discuss and to take ayahuasca and things like that. But it was the best experience I ever had in my life because I had never traveled by myself. I was going to a foreign place. I didn't know the language. I jumped off the plane with a sign saying, take me here. They could have took me anywhere and killed me. So that was the first time in my life that I had to really, really use my faith.
Wow.
And it showed me that, faith is all we got. We can sit here and try to play like, we in control of these things. But, at the end of the day, man, faith is what took me there and what brought me back home. And I use that I don't worry about anything anymore, man. I just let life happen because it's going to happen anyway. Did your family and friends notice a difference after you returned? Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, again, man, I was an asshole for a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Because of my alcoholism, because of, so when I started to meditate, people started to see a change in me already because I started, a lot about me was becoming different. Now, a lot of people didn't like the change either because while I was drinking and doing all those things, I was also giving a lot of money away and funding a lot of things that I shouldn't have been funding. So as I'm getting better, the people that were taking advantage of me, they didn't want to see a change.
Wow.
But the people that loved me were very happy and in my corner and was like, yo, man, just keep doing what you're doing.
Wow.
And I'm happy I am where I am right now, and the stage of my life that I am right now. Because I know that, in order to become a better person, that we got to fix self first.
Yeah, as I said, I'm a therapist, CBT, so you get these negative automatic thoughts that come in. It's like going into a bank and the thought comes, can you rob this? And somebody who has anxiety would think, oh, I'm going to rob the place, and they won't go into a bank again. Right. And you have to realize that the thoughts are going to come, but you can control the thoughts. Yeah.
Yep. And you know what? And another thing that people don't realize is that it's what you pay attention to. You have to pay, stop paying attention to those type of thoughts. Because you know what? I'm not gonna. Yeah. So I think that a lot of people don't understand that again, it's what you pay attention to. And you just gotta. I just can't wait for people to start waking up and understanding, man, that who they are inside and what's available to them. If they just change their life. I think a lot of us are just we're sleepwalking, and we need to understand where the power lies.
Yeah.
Man, you ready? Yeah. Concentrate. Let's concentrate go, with me. What you say? We do this day by day. Yeah. We live like this cause we got it, y'all. Every day I pray.